So I did a video not too long ago on the On Cloudtilt, one of the probably more perfect everyday sneakers, but I had some people tell me, well, it may be too soft for them, not enough structure. So On answered that question with the shoe, well, that may be just as perfect. So today, we'll check out the On Cloudzone. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from the Sneaker History Podcast, and we are back with another video. Guys, thank you for coming on back for another review. This one is going to be a follow-up to a sneaker we talked about a couple months back, and that's going to be the On Cloudtilt. Now, I know you guys remember this one. This has been a very popular sneaker, very easy, very everyday sneaker. I think it's pretty perfect for a shoe, but some people think it's a little too soft. Not as much structure, and not everyone does like a super soft shoe, which is totally understandable. Sometimes too soft makes you feel unstable, maybe give you lower back pain if you're not used to that kind of shoe. So On has the answer to that, and that's going to be the On Cloudzone. Now, these two are basically, I feel like brothers, like literally cut out of the same mold, but one does something a little bit better than the other, and I think they're both, again, in that realm of perfect everyday sneakers. Now, instead of being that super soft sneaker that is just really squishy, this does provide a soft ride, but it does something that the Tilt didn't do, and that's going to provide stability. Now, as you look at this shoe, you're going to see it's a little bit more low profile, like if you see both here. This one's a bit chunkier bottom, this one is a little bit of a lower ride, a little bit lower profile, and what something we're going to have here is going to be not only the lower cushion height, but if we get into the inside here, the most important part of the shoe is going to be the speed board. Now, this is going to use the speed board, which is going to be that plate. I don't think it's carbon. I think it's just a plastic plate they put in here. But it's not going to be as aggressive as you would see like the Cloud Monster, some of the more high-performance runners. This is going to be here to give you a more stable ride. So that way you're going to get that energy transfer. You're going to get a more firm ride as opposed to something that's going to be really pillow soft. Now, of course, you're still going to get the Helion foam that's going to be put together in a Cloudtilt setup where you're going to have, again, those open holes here. So you're going to have that compression, get the energy return from the outsole and midsole setup as well. But again, not as much as you're going to see on the Cloudtilt here. So you're going to see some pretty big differences there when you look at both of the midsole setups. But again, both do things that are different, but perfect nonetheless, which probably sounds weird, like, well, how can both be perfect? Well, they are, because there are going to be particular ones that, well, again, everyone's foot is different, everyone walk different, so people need different things, so it's something for everybody here, and On executed that perfectly. Now, along with, of course, the low profile setup here, you're gonna have your pretty, I would say minimal, but effective, because you're not going to be running in these. This is purely just a walking everyday shoe. Just a linear outsole setup, traction pattern here with, of course, the On branding. You're going to have exposed foam, but it's going to have the high wear area. You're going to have the rubber pieces here to make sure that the shoe is going to be lasting for you. Now, as we move up to the shoe, we're going to get a little bit of multicolor on the outsole setup. So again, it's still going to be that Helion. You're going to get the cream or white color that's going to be at the bottom. As you get to the top here, you're going to have that. This one is going to be, let me name the color, I can't remember. Limelight. I had to look at the box again. This is a limelight colorway. I got this one because it does really just stick out more, especially when it comes to the reviews. You guys can see it better. And by the way, I forgot to say thank you in the beginning. Sorry about that, guys. But the family at On sent this pair over for me to try them out. Very interested in this one, again, how it compares to the Cloudtilt. And again, I tell you, it doesn't disappoint. Now, as we get to the upper of the sneaker, still going to be that mesh upper, provides some softness and breathability as you're wearing this all day. And I've gotten to wear this shoe a few times all day, and I tell you, it's just as good. For me, I can go either way with the Tilt or the Zone, but I tell you, if you do want that more performance-driven model that's going to be a little bit more, again, more firm, pushes you forward a little bit more, this is the way to go. Now, what's cool about this, again, it's still going to be very breathable. You're going to have a nice mesh setup here. And for those who don't like the slip-on aspect of the Cloudtilt, this one does have laces, so you can get those laces back. And again, pretty much the same setup with the sneaker when it comes to the, again, the openings here for that breathability with that mesh. You're going to have a really nice thin tongue with still cushioning on the back, so it's not like cutting into your ankle at all. And the lace system's pretty simple, nothing crazy. Again, we don't need super lockdown because this is just for forward movement. It's not for any kind of crazy running or crazy athletics. This is just, hey, I'm walking around the zoo with my family. I gotta run some errands to run. This is gonna be that perfect shoe to wear in those different moments. Now inside, same thing, because you're not getting the cushioning from the insole. You're gonna be getting the cushioning from, of course, that Cloudtilt setup. Pretty thin insole, nothing crazy there. you know, it does have some cushion to it, of course. You're gonna have the On Cloudzone branding here. And again, this is a very straightforward model. I like it. Some models you just need straight to the point to be utility, as opposed to, oh, it needs to have that, and the third. Very simple. They kept it straight to the point here to make sure you're getting exactly what you need for those long walks. Summer times here, guys, you'll be taking vacations. Again, like I said, zoos, amusement parks, whatever it may be, this will be the shoe. Again, whatever one you want here, I think you can't go wrong with either. Now, when you get into the insole, or inside, I should say, it's going to be a black mesh sock liner there, nothing crazy. But this one does fit true to size, as does the Cloudtilt. I went size 10. Size 10 fits perfectly. Everything fits so nice about this shoe. I mean, it's crazy. This doesn't even have to be a long review because it's just simple, perfect. You want that, again, for those everyday shoes. That's what you're looking for. There's no frills attached. It's just straight to the point. I've probably said that 12 times now, but I like to get that point home to you guys because you know what you're going to be getting into. Now, let's definitely say, again, they are true to size, but try them on. Everyone's foot's a little different. Wide footers, I don't think you need to go up half a size because this mesh is pretty soft. It will stretch for you, but try them on if you can. It's always the best course of action, I think. But this one is $20 cheaper than the Cloudtilt, so these come in at a $140 as opposed to the $160, and yeah, definitely try them out. I would say this is probably the best colorway, but On's good about putting more colorways out there. There is, I think, a basic white, basic black, and then you have these if you want to stand out a little bit. But this is just a great shoe. It does everything I need when it comes to being on my feet all day. So check them out. The Cloudzone's available on their website. I think it might be available some other places that sell On as well. But definitely one that is worth the buy if you feel like you're going to be doing a lot of walking. So let me know. Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you have a pair? Which one do you prefer? The Tilt or the Zone? Let me know down below. And until next time, guys, see ya.